I had to do it, guys. You're gonna see something that, yeah, he's doing it again. Like, look, see? Somebody please make a gif of that. Yeah, see, now he knows that I'm willing to switch in the middle of the intro. Hello everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, we have something to start off special. We brought Ashe10 back to the show. Some of you may remember him from our Making Gills segment a few months back. We did another pre-recorded segment with him that I am going to be airing before we actually get started with the live segment, or we continue the live segment. And then Sly and I want to talk a little bit about the Anima weapon, plus a pretty big controversy in the Final Fantasy community. But you'll have to stick around till the end of the show to find out what that is. Anyway, I am one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Polveromo, and joining me is Sly, aka Slythefox, aka Sly, aka Greyfox, aka Sly the fist pumping fox, aka you, my boy Blue. How are you doing?
The only reason I did that was because I could hear the music through your audio. So I was like, why am I hearing the music? Let me just go ahead and
oh, was it because it's like this close to the heads? I guess it's real close to that. Yeah, I just realized you're not supposed to be able to hear that. You're right, that didn't make sense. I was like, wait, why is he fist pumping? That's so weird. That's not like Sly. He's not a big dancer when it comes to stuff like that, I think. Maybe you are, Sly. Do you got moves?
Apparently I do, according to everybody in the community, because I can twirl.
Oh, yeah! Well, you should have done that. That would have made more sense. All right, so 1 second. I need to now get ready to set up. Yep, there's going to be a loud voice that everyone's going to hear in a second. It's me, because I had to switch over to the other footage we're going to use in a second. And then we just get to go, hang out, crack open a beer, and chill for the next 30 minutes, pretty much.
Woo!
Just like the last time we had Ashe on the show.
Yeah, buddy.
So how are you doing today, Sly?
I'm doing awesome.
Awesome? Is that why you have the energy to... Now everyone wants you to twirl. Don't do it.
No, I can't. I don't have the space. I don't have the space to twirl. I can't make the space. Can't do it.
You heard him, guys. He doesn't have the space. Can't do it. You'll have to request it right after State of the Realm on his stream over and over again. You'll have to do it, because otherwise... He can make the space then. He can't make the space in the middle of the show. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way. So, Sly, what did you and I do this last Sunday?
I was here with a flashlight.
You were there with a flashlight. So, Sly and I were supposed to record a segment with Ashe10 this Sunday at 4 p.m., like this last Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, right? You're scaring me, Sly. Halloween is past. The Halloween event is past, Sly. And I call Ashe, and I'm like, okay, we'll wait a few minutes for Sly. 10 minutes later, nothing from Sly. 30 minutes later, nothing from Sly. An hour later, Sly messaged me and goes, tell me you did the show without me. And I was like, yeah, of course we did the show without you. What are you talking about? Yeah, this Sunday night, it was John Cena. We were getting together for that.
Yeah.
It turns out, Sly, you lost power this last weekend. You just didn't have power.
Yeah, I was afraid I wasn't even going to stream on time.
So basically, what you're going to see is we're going to switch over to a pre-recorded segment with Ashe, because it's like 2 a.m. for him right now, so he can't come to the live shows. So whenever we have him as a guest, we pre-record the segment and we let you guys watch that. I made sure that there was an appropriate image for Sly, because him not appearing meant that I had an overlay that was made and was missing him. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't leave the spot blank, so I made sure there was an adequate picture.
Wait, did you put the picture in Big Sly too?
No, I actually didn't think to do that, because I don't switch to Big Sly when you're not talking.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so basically, Sly and I are going to chill out. We're going to be reading the chat. We're going to be interacting for the first 30 minutes of the show. And then afterwards, we're going to come back on and finish the second half of the show with a live segment. Yeah, Ashe is in Europe. He's he's very, very many time zones east of me. So it's 7 p.m. here. It's like 2 a.m. for him otherwise. So, guys, I'm actually going to switch over to that. You're going to see it here in a second. So, first of all, you're going to love the look on my face. Second of all, you're going to love the look on your face, because we actually look pretty similar in this exact image that I caught of me waiting to do the introduction to the show. So we're going to switch over. I'm going to wait for him to actually. I'm going to wait for him. What's funnier, me or you?
Both.
I needed a picture of a fox. What did you want from me?
Holy crap.
I had to do it. And then,
God.
yeah. So, and we look pretty similar because I got my eyes closed. You got your eyes closed. It's perfect. Yeah, you're going to need that picture for your stream afterwards. I'll make sure I send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, I am going to mute my microphone. Sly's going to mute his microphone. And, well, enjoy the pre-recorded segment with Ashe talking about crafting, gathering, and making money in the current economy, as well as any information he may have on airships. So,
And the Slythefox.
and the sleep. No. I actually typed in happy fox.
That's a hat fox?
It's smiling, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to mute our microphones, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes when this segment ends. So enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this pre-recorded segment. We did a little live segment before this, just so you guys knew. Yeah, it's at least he knew he was on camera already because I didn't actually even tell Ashe that he was going to be on camera right from the get-go. But this is just a little segment that we wanted to do on crafting and gathering. But more importantly, before we talk about anything, Ashe, who's supposed to be there in the top right corner? Whose video section is missing right now?
You're my boy Blue.
Yeah, he's not my boy Blue right now. I've replaced it with a picture of a fox that looks like it's trying to smile. I don't know, and I'm also looking in the wrong direction, so everyone's gonna make fun of me for that now. But I mean, that's Slyh from now on, guys. So get that picture, guys. Just go Google Happy Fox, because that's what I did to find that. And just tweet it at him because he missed our recording, Ashe. I apologize for Sly's lack of appearance here today, Ashe.
No problem.
Okay, good. I just want Slyh to feel as bad as possible. I know it doesn't bother you too much, but I want him to feel as bad as possible. But I'm glad we were able to arrange this because we really, really wish we could have you on the show live, but we wouldn't ask you to be up at like 2 in the morning or whatever it is there just in order to do the show. So thank you for taking your time to come on.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, everyone loved you from the last time, and everyone is they definitely all have the same question on their mind, seeing you again now, which we'll cover pretty quickly into the show. Last time we spoke, you were pretty upset with the state of crafting, if I remember correctly. Because this was sometime like after the favor buffs, I think in 3.05 or something like that was the last time we had you on.
Yes.
Yeah, so one thing that I'm sure hasn't changed is back then you were still filthy stinking rich. So I'm assuming that's only gotten like tenfold since that like 3-4 months ago. Can we recap?
Yeah, the market boards have become much better for big crafters, but for the more casual ones, it's still the same. It haven't been improved. It's still weekly limited. They have increased the amount of materials you get, but I don't know if people are lazy or don't have time, but on my server at least, the market boards, the prices have been lowered a bit, but they're still pretty high. Like, you have to do your own stuff. You can't help yourself with the market board.
So what you're saying is you're way richer than you were before.
Yeah,
because you're saying the more casual players can't do this. I know that's not where you are. So last time we spoke, you had 800 million, and I think between both of your retainers, you were at about 960 million. What are you at now?
Just press some buttons and make millions at this point. So it's just.
What are you at now? Just to recap.
80 million over the cap. I have capped on my character and 80 million on one retainer.
That's not bad. You didn't make as much as I thought you would have between then and now, but you've probably been spending too, I imagine.
I am actually pretty busy. Going back to university to take the master degree, so I haven't been able to play much. Oh. If I had more free time, I would have gone for another cap.
You would have 2 billion right now. Well, first of all, glad to hear you're going to get your master's. So what is it a master's in, real quick? I know it's a little off topic, but
it's recovering energy from waste, like from garbage.
That's a pretty noble thing to get a degree in. That's the thing that's gonna save this world. Not Eorzea, but it'll hopefully save our world at some point. Looking
I
forward to
hope
seeing
so.
you on Shark Tank at some point. All right, so you also seemed let's see. You also seemed to be somewhat okay with the favor system. Last time we spoke, crafting was, awful. Like, you hated it. Sounds like you're still not a big fan of it. But a lot more time has passed since those favor system changes came out, where they reduced the time threefold to increase the spawn rate threefold. Have you grown more or less fond of the favor system since then, with the additions and changes that have been made to the game?
The favor system is really fine, but it seems like still isn't much supply to the market board. They are really expensive. So if you are a miner, you can still make a lot of money just doing these favors still. And they're really easy. You just grab something to listen to, maybe watch Netflix while doing these favors. And just make fast gil, really.
Netflix and chill. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same for most servers, but I think they're still selling nicely for most of the servers. I would assume. I am not really sure. I can only speak for my server.
And just so everyone's clear, what server is that again? For those who may not remember.
Cerberus Europe.
Cerberus, okay. I wonder what it's like on Gilgamesh. I haven't checked in a while. Gilgamesh is probably crashed because everyone's doing it on Gilgamesh, and I don't even want to imagine it. Anyway, so since 3.1 has come out, there really haven't been too many changes to the crafting itself, but like you were saying earlier, a lot more materials have been made available via gathering, as well as items that aren't actually gated to create. So, has the market improved at all? Like you were saying, the more casual players, it hasn't really improved too much, or people just aren't doing it. But with items that aren't on big lockouts, like the Sky Pirate set and the new medicines, has it gotten better at all?
Yes, more people can now try to start because of this, because the material from Diadem is much easier to gather. So they are much cheaper, so people can grab more crafters can grab and try to start now. So that have been improved.
Well, has it gotten any easier to craft the items that were available before 3.1? Since a lot more of those red script items and the favor items are now available through things like Law and the Diadem as well.
Yes, you can now very easily get these materials. And if you as I told you, favors are really easy. You just have to have some energy, and once you get to it, it's really like a rhythm. It's really easy. You get these favor materials, you get a lot of crafting materials now. They increased it 3 times now, so they have been really improved. I really like that change.
So with all those items being more available and whatnot, that doesn't necessarily mean people are buying the items for pre-3.1. Is that the case? Are people even buying those old items that you were able to craft before 3.1 still, or is the market really in the new stuff?
The prices have been lowered a little, so more people have been buying the materials. I guess they are too lazy to do the favors themselves, or they don't have time. It might be either case, but they have been lowered the price for more people grabbing them, and it's good.
What's lower? Because those were like 40 mil when we last spoke.
Yeah, for example, the chest piece was 40, 50 mil. It's like now 5 mil or 4 mil.
That's not bad.
So it's not bad, yeah.
Is it worth buying though? Like, are people like actually purchasing it even though it's only 4 to 5 mil, or is that just kind of where the market's settled at because of the new material availability?
Most of crafters wouldn't buy these because they like to do it themselves. So I've only sold like 5 pieces over the last month.
Oof. Yeah, I guess I can understand. And you're talking about crafting. You're talking about the battle pieces, or you're talking about like accessories and belts.
I'm
and whatnot?
talking about the crafting pieces. Mostly the off tools, because you cannot get the off tools and accessories from your red tokens. You have to craft them. So most people may be getting the left side with tokens and buying the right side with gil, I would assume, because the off tools and accessories selling more than the left side pieces.
And I'm assuming the combat pieces are just completely dead on arrival, like nobody buys that anymore.
Yeah, no one's buying those because the Sky Pirate are much easier, the material to get them, and they are 5 item level higher. Unless it's the healer gear that people want accuracy on, they are not selling much.
Okay, keep that in mind, everyone. Still don't do that stuff. Do all the new stuff and none of the old stuff, pretty much. How does it feel having this sort of cycle? Because it sounds very akin to where you have the hardcore cycle, where you're only going to make stuff if you're really hardcore, and then the casual cycle is a catch-up patch, but it's completely bypassed the need for the old stuff. I don't know if that, at least in terms of combat classes, if that's been an odd transition for you as a crafter from a Realm Reborn going into the expansion.
I think they added these because the other 2-star recipes were pretty hard to get a material for. That's one reason they added the Sky Pirate. Another reason was so you can spirit bond these while doing diadem as a battle job, because there's a good chance you get grade 5 materials from these. I have converted like 18 pieces and gotten 7 grade 5s from those.
Okay, know what I'm doing after this. Anyway, because I've been telling people to do that, but I didn't actually know the success rate was that high.
Yeah, it doesn't seem high, but sometimes you get lucky, sometimes not, so it's just have to try. I'm just trying to hoard accuracy and crit for next Savage.
Oh yeah, see that's what I'm doing, but I sounds like you're doing a better job at it than I am. So some of these new recipes, they're specialist only. Last time we spoke, you were like the specialist, if you're leveling your crafting correctly, specialist was useless. Still, I'd imagine is in terms of the abilities you get. Are you happy? Are you happy with recipes being specialist specific, or has this kind of put a halt on crafting progression for you?
Yes, I am happy, except for culinary and alchemist, because they really screwed them over. They only gave alchemist 1 housing item, and they gave culinarian only 1 food, which is not caster DPS or healers can't.
It sounds more like personal gripes than anything else for your scholar. Because I'd imagine you're happy to be able to make max ethers, although I don't know if you use those over.
Yes, but I would feel like they should have made the max ethers a specialist recipe.
They're not. Okay, see that I didn't know.
Alchemist specialist is pretty useless at this point in the game. Maybe next patch, but at this point it's not worth going alchemist recipe. I mean specialist alchemist.
Still, but I imagine you'd still want alchemist at least to 60 as one of the big ones, because max ethers are. People are very happy to finally have something that's like not 600 MP in the form of X ethers.
Trust me, that's helping so much. A4 Savage, if you're doing the cheese strategy, it's insanely helpful.
What do you mean if? Everyone's doing that strategy, Ash.
Yeah, true.
There's no ifs. That's a huge market right there. What is it, 2400 MP?
The HQ is 1,700.
Why did I think it was 2400? I don't know why. That would be crazy if it was that much.
But it still is helping huge. I mean, on the last phase, my heart beats like crazy when I have MP issues, but it really helps with that.
Well, glad to hear that, because we've been asking. Now we need powerful, potent poisoning potions. That's what we need.
Yeah, I would want that. It would help.
Every time they add a new tier of it, I want them to add another word that begins with P at the beginning. Every time. Yeah. That's why I want powerful, potent poisoning potions. It needs to be very annoying to say every time. So, so in terms of crafting, we're gonna move on to gathering here in a second. But do you have any final thoughts, tips for people that are getting to level 60, however many crafters they may have, any approach they may want to take from when they first start to actually getting to the point where they're making good money?
Yeah, I would really like to tip people that if you don't want to meld a lot, if you want to have an easier time, start with the left side piece. You get with your tokens. You don't need to craft them. You will avoid melding a lot, because these are 10 item levels above the crafted stuff, and they have more stats. So this will help you craft the right side pieces, the offhand and the tools. So if you want to go really high end crafting with more ease, then that would be a good idea to do.
But just to be clear, if you do go the route with the ones that are 10 item levels lower, the ones you actually have to craft, those do have higher stat caps if you do meld them, don't they?
Yes, but we don't know if it's needed. Right now we don't need it, but maybe next patch. It's hard to predict what next patch is.
So we get purple scripts next patch for all we know.
Yeah, it might not even need it, this gear for next patch, yeah.
Well, hopefully they don't do it that way, sort of. I don't know how to ask for it.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work. Every week you have to cap, you have to get material, and then it would be useless, then it wouldn't be a good... Yeah, I hope this gear will last until next expansion, at least.
And then you use the red script gear to craft the 3.2 stuff. Like, you need all those stats to craft the 3.2 stuff, and maybe the 3.2 stuff to craft the 3.4 stuff. So it's almost like after you get past that initial cap, it's more about your ability.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you actually think they'll do it that way?
Yeah, I hope they do.
No, I hope is different than I think. Do you think they'll do it?
Yeah, because they want... I hope they don't want you to waste your work, because it's a lot.
You couldn't say that with a straight face. You know, because you know how rating has been. Yeah. Well, one can hope. At least a little bit, one can hope. All right, so we spoke about crafting quite a bit, but the other big thing is gathering. We touched on it a tiny bit, but it's risen in popularity a lot more recently, mostly because of the diadem. First of all, I have to get your opinion on this. How do you feel about people who go into these duty finder groups, get the ability to fly, and just forsake their fellow party member and just go gather whatever they want? How do you feel about that?
It's really not good for the people that want to farm battle gear. But in the end of the day, I mean, duty finder you can't even need on your main class if you're there for the gear. I mean, I don't know why people go duty finders to farm gear to begin with. Kinda lost with that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I never actually even thought about the fact you can't even need. It's like, I don't have any hope. At least you can walk out with a few mil, right?
Yeah, you would want to go in the party finder if you want to gather battle gear. It's more efficient anyway, in my opinion.
Do you think there's anything they can do to make it more mutually beneficial to have people out gathering and people battling at the same time as opposed to having to decide one or the other?
Yeah, I think what they wanted to do is after you clear an area of monsters, the gatherers change their class to gathering classes quickly and gather these, but then the battle guys wouldn't benefit anything from them. Only those that have gathering classes benefit from them. So, and people are too lazy maybe to change to gathering classes quickly before the next patch spawn. And you don't even have time because people are pulling mobs so quickly now.
Yeah.
But one thing I was thinking about, maybe just like you hit a node, you hit an item and you gather it, maybe there was a random like DPS increase buff or something that you hit and everyone gets it in the party, then maybe it would have become better. But I don't know how hard that is for them to implement.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea. They could also maybe like give better drop rates on gold chests, or maybe a higher rate of notorious monster spawn. I think buffs, like you're saying, are actually the best way to do it. And then that would make farming the fucking rank 5 so much easier. Those things, I hate those friggin' rank 5 Sanuas that everybody seems to want to farm.
Yeah, the Sanuas are not bad. The Pelicans, oh my god. Okay. When I'm healer, all I do is Yuna, nothing else.
Yeah, okay. I actually don't think I've ever been to Pelican Island. Everyone always wants to go to the friggin' dinosaurs, but I haven't touched it much since they changed the whole spawn rate thing. So, okay, yeah, dig up buffs. Square Enix, I hope you're listening to that. I hope Sly's listening to that, too, because he's listening to this live, and he's just basically... Ugh, Sly, please. You look cute, though, Sly. And Ash won't see this until Tuesday. Ash has no idea what he's looking at, because it's not like this is live right now. I'll send you the picture after we're done, so you can know what Sly looked like. I won't make you wait till Tuesday. You deserve better than that. Okay. So the real question. People are gathering. They're just going out and doing their thing. how worth it if you're not going to do the whole... Because I already know where you're going to go with this. You're going to gather in the diadem to make Sky Pirate gear to spirit bond it in the diadem. That's the triangle that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier.
Exactly.
If you're not going to do any of that, you're just there to gather. Maybe just gather steel spoils or gather or hope for red script items or whatever it is. How worth it is it really? Like, what kind of money will you make in 90 minutes in the diadem?
Fishers are in the money now because of this. There's the fish that will be crafted into the leather, and these leathers, most of the new Sky Pirate gear, nearly all of them require this leather. So fishers are making huge money from this. In my server, they're going for 30k, 25k to 30k each, and they're really common. They're not that rare. You just sit and you can fish up to 35 of these in the 90 minutes. If you're lucky, maybe more than 40 even.
What about miners and botany?
Miner and botany is a disaster because you can't even stealth and you will get aggro all the time. It's really painful to mine and botany there.
Oh, don't worry. I know the feeling. Whenever the group is like, okay, we're almost done, someone go fulfill the objectives. I'm like, oh shit. It's gonna be me. You're just sitting there waiting for it to turn around. Face the other way. Go! Got it. Perfect. Okay. So sounds like there's a high demand for quite a few of these items. So given 90 minutes, let's say you can only play for 90 minutes and you have the choice. Do favors or do the diadem? And you can, no matter, you have all three of the gatherers available. What would you tell somebody to do? Which one would you tell them is better?
Favor still more guild, because since they increase the amount of crafting materials you get from the favor materials, my favor materials have increased in the price as well. So it's better to do favors, in my opinion, if you're just gathering for guild.
Speaking of favors, because people, obviously you have to make a conscious decision to spend red scripts on favors. Has the red script gear for gather? We were talking about it for crafting. Has it even mattered for gatherers like at all, especially in the diadem, the red script gear?
No, it's not even needed. None of those needed.
So you don't even need do you even need the crafted right side from the red script stuff from the favor stuff?
Nope. I would assume it's only for next patch. For when 3-star crafting and 2-star mining gathering come out, I would assume it's... Right now, you don't even need all these gear. None of it.
Just go and make money. You'll aggro everything, but go and make money. What about fishing? Doesn't need it for those fish either?
No, fishing, there's a really safe spot. You never get aggro, so...
But what about the gear? You don't need the red script gear as a fisherman either? It's just...
No. You just do the regular 150 set.
Oh my god. I gotta start gathering. I gotta level my fishing from 50 to 60. Ugh. I'm not doing it. Don't worry. I'm not gonna go in the duty finder and do that shit. Don't worry. But
yeah, we have a link shell for gathering dead, and we just use that. So
nice. Everyone there can host. I'd imagine can host an airship in that link shell.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. So we got our final thoughts on the way crafting has evolved since 3.1 came out. What are your final thoughts and tips to anyone who's just working on their gatherers right now? What should be their main goal?
Just find a new show to watch and do favors, really.
What about getting to favors? Because we mentioned that you don't need red script gear. Is the blue script gear sufficient?
Yes, even the blue script level 58 gear would be enough, yes. It would be much slower to cap your red scripts with that, but it's still doable.
Still doable, okay. So, still work on the red scripts, though, getting ready for 3.2 at the very least, right? Because 3.2 may have new favors.
Yeah, it will be behind if you don't have these red script gear. I would assume you will need for the next tier of recipes and notes.
Alright, well, since we talked about the diadem a little bit, airships. The Free Company airship feature. We kind of didn't really touch this too much last time. I don't even know if they were available yet the last time we tried to talk about it. But I don't suspect we'll need to delve into it too much. I'm just curious because a lot of free companies are working on actually building their airships at this point. Did you work on your airships for your free company, or did somebody else do it?
I have two friends in my FC that did most of that. I helped with material, but mostly everything else. So I'm not very deep in the department, but from what I see, you just need to work as a group and submit materials. The annoying thing is you can solo all materials, but you need 4 people submit and progress the airship parts.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that. So you weren't actually sending them out on ventures. You were just providing the materials, and they did all the ventures and the actual leveling and whatnot.
Yeah, I just help with materials, but from what I see, they bring back a lot of material and pieces that you need for other projects that you can do, like you can decorate your house roof, for example, and you can also craft ethereal wheels to get free company action buffs. Even that's the only way to get grade 30 buffs right now. It's from the airship project.
What about unlocking the diadem hard mode? Did your friends ever tell you anything regarding that? Because I know people that are told, hey, go to sector 19 and 20, and they've been doing it for weeks now, and they still don't have the diadem.
Yes, it took us around 2 weeks sending them to 21, 22.
Oh, 21 and 22, my bad.
Some free companies, I don't know which ones, was it 20 or 22? Some free companies were lucky, they got it like second day or something. Some took weeks, so that was all RNG.
Yeah, I know on Greg, an hour after the servers came up, somebody ended up having it. And then ours took another 2.5 days to get, just because of the amount of time it took to send out. All right, well, I mean, if you haven't worked too much on the airship, we're not going to delve too deep into that. But if you could make a change to the airship system, like, would you add any features to it?
Maybe have more control on what you get, less RNG, I would hope for. Just like retainer ventures, you can control what it would be really like have a set goal on what materials you want.
What about like any like maybe free company versus free company airship PvP? Like, I don't know. That's what I've always wanted since I saw that. I don't care about them bringing back materia and whatnot. I'll just do the diadem for that in the first place. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, PvP is good if you have friends to do it with. If you can do it as free company, yeah, I agree. That would be really cool.
Cool. All right, well, we'll wrap up a little bit. Just one more question. We asked you this last time. I want to know if you have any sort of additional things. Are there any markets currently that you're noticing that players aren't tapping into? More at max level, perhaps, since we did last time touch upon like doing the mid-level, like the level 30 and 40 stuff. Any sort of money-making secrets you might have, or is it all just basic common sense stuff?
It's just researching the market board and see in your ability what you can provide, which sells most. I would always recommend just researching some items, like max ethers, for example. See if enough people are providing these to the market board. If they are not, then we just go for that to make deals.
Okay, well, I know it's late for you, and I know that I have lots of yelling to do at Sly because... No, he still hasn't answered me. Just wanted to make sure that he didn't want to get in on the show in the middle of it so I can harass him for it even more later. But Ash, we really appreciate you coming by and doing this little segment for us right here. We always like getting caught up with anything. I have a feeling after 3.2 we'll have even more to ask you about, because when Sly and I try doing shows on crafting and gathering and money making, it's just us being idiots. So
Thanks for having me again. I'm always up for whenever it's needed, and if anyone have additional questions, they can feel free to message me or something.
I went to switch to your scene, and because I was so frustrated with Sly not being here, I remembered that it just says your name in a black screen. So let me put your face on the screen right now so you can tell everyone where to find you, because otherwise it's just going to be a black screen talking to them, and it's going to look really funny. Oh, man. All right, let's see here. Your face is there, but it's like I have all the proportions off. All right, let me get the bare basics down right here. I feel like every time I do the show and like we have like guests, this happens. Like every time I do
I've
this.
noticed. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you for noticing. Okay, there we go. All right. So, Ash, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at? YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff.
Twitch and YouTube mostly. That's where I am. My Twitch is Ashe10, the same name, and YouTube is the same with an X in the end and the beginning, in between the Ashe10, like X Ashe10 X.
Yeah, that's how I remember it, because I had to look for your Twitter before this to see what that was for the little thing at the bottom. And I know that that's the same thing, X Ashe10X. Unless I'm following some other X Ashe10X on Twitter, but I hope that's not the case, because that would be really awkward. Especially because they have a picture of, what's the Final Fantasy VIII, I think, on there? Something like that. You don't even know, do you? You never use Twitter. You never use Twitter, do you?
I use it, but it's just for automatically when I upload something to YouTube, it comes to the Twitch. No, people don't message me there usually, so I've ignored it.
So Twitch and YouTube. There you go.
Yes.
Twitch and YouTube. Got it. All right, well, I'm going to continue with whatever the rest of the live show is on, and we're going to end this pre-recorded segment. Sly, thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate it. I'll see you in about 60 seconds so I can give you dirty looks. And Ash, again, thank you for joining us. Like I said, you're welcome to the show anytime. Not just you're able to, but you're welcome to the show anytime.
Thanks, I'm honored.
All right, everyone, going back to the live show. Let's switch now. All right, well, there's more awkward faces. That's a way better awkward face than I had before. So there you go. And he comes back, he's immediately singing. Just look at my face there, Sly. Tell me.
I see it.
I can hear. Is that me that I'm hearing through you?
Yes, that's you. You're hearing on my TV.
That smooth switch right there.
I know, right?
Absolutely the smoothest switch you've ever seen. Hey, let me see if I can replicate that face. Yeah, so guys, all the dirty talk to Sly, not dirty talk, phrasing. Anyway, all that talking trash to Sly right there, that was before I knew he didn't have power. I felt bad about it after, but I felt it would make the show even funnier since it was already there.
Yeah.
Oh god, dirty talk, Sly. Phrasing.
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 Boom. Phrasing.
Boom. Well, boom and dirty. Okay, there you go. Absolutely. Got it. All right, so, Sly, now that you are here and your power is not out, now that Ash and I are done talking about crafting and gathering, I actually saw you leveling your botanist last night.
It's at 60.
It's at 60. What kind of gear does it have?
Basically the non-materia melded 60 gear.
Okay.
So it's pretty basic.
Gonna take any of Ash's advice? Trying to make some bank? What are you working on?
Of course. But then again, that means I have to get started in Fisher now. With my crafters, I've been doing that lazily. And what I mean by that is they level, but at a slow pace because I'm only doing the GC turn-ins because I'm busy with everything else. So with the crafters right now, I'm doing just GC, strictly GC turns, getting the levels off those. So it's in a way, I'm still leveling my crafters, but with my gatherers, all I have to do now is fish. And like I said in chat, that's going to be kind of a Hulu and chill thing.
Hulu? Did Hulu over Netflix for you?
Hmm?
What about Jay Jones? What about Jessica Jones? You ain't gonna Jessica Jones and chill?
Oh man, I got to catch up on The Good Wife.
You got to Jessica Jones and chill. You don't have your priorities straight.
I got to catch up on The Good Wife first.
All right. Afterwards, you got to Jay Jones and chill.
Yeah.
Mel and I are on episode 5. All right, so since you weren't able to be at the recording, I just wanted to know if you have any thoughts on anything Tash was suggesting, you know, the way that gatherers, that was a big thing. He suggested that gatherers actually be able to buff the fighters in the diadem by gathering buffs.
I think that that kind of is, I think that would kind of be a necessary evil in terms of, parties and, like, it works both ways. Gatherers could stick with the party and get the protection they need, quote unquote, instead of going out and about in the wild. Instead of going out and about in the wild by themselves and just getting murked by whatever's there, if you happen to, if you're not sneaky enough, because I'm usually sneaky enough to where I can get the nodes and everything, but there are some nodes that just are impossible to get to because the pacing of whoever's there is right on that node and you can't get to it. So like that would work both ways for the gatherers and the rest of the party, whoever, like the battle classes in the party.
What about his general opinions on just straight up gathering in the diadem right now? How much money you can make from it? Is it tantalizing to go get those fish? Is your fisherman all of a sudden top priority?
It seems like it. It seems like it. And like now more than ever, I'm gonna have to level my fisherman. I'm gonna have to get that up. But again, it's gonna be kind of a. I might have to take a day just to get my fisher up because I've heard like it's relaxing / boring at the same time, but it's a necessary.
Like going
evil.
fishing for real. You need to get. Don't you have a fishing outfit, like a legit one? Like
No,
that,
just
the hat. I feel like I've seen you in a fishing hat and a vest.
No,
before.
no, you just go in like just the old fucking pair of jeans or waders or whatever. And if you're actually going to get in like a creek or a pond, whatever, you take waders. But if you're just sitting on like the coast of a creek or something, you just take some jeans and call it a day.
Call it a day. All right.
There's no special fishing gear. You don't look like the fisher in 14. You don't like that fisher looks OP as shit. But
No, you gotta have the friggin' like I forget what kind of hat it is. The one that has the sun protection on all sides and
it's kind of like the Gilligan hat.
Yeah, the Gilligan hat. There you go. We'll go with the Gilligan hat. Yeah. That's what I imagine Slyh. Can I get a Photoshop of Slyh with the Gilligan outfit on, please?
Yeah.
We already had the GIF happen in the time that was going on. So I think we can request more. I think I have a lot more freedom to request those things nowadays, at the very least. All right, so good segment. I'm glad Ash was able to join me, not you, because power. But I mean, one big reason I want to ask you about making money and about the diadem is because there's a piece of content coming up.
Yeah.
You might know about.
Yeah, some kind of weapon.
Yeah,
supposedly.
type of weapon. Yeah. It's called the Anima weapon. ANIM, M as in Michael, A. Anima. Not a relic. It's an anima weapon. This gonna confuse. No one's gonna call it an anima weapon. Everyone's gonna call it the new relic.
The new relic.
Yeah.
I mean, I would call it an anima weapon if anima was actually involved.
It is involved, Slyh. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It is involved. Slyh, have you done any prep for this weapon? You did not do the old quest line, so did you make any prep for this one?
Fuck no. Why?
Maybe
because I've been telling everybody's been asking me, should I do
I'm not
relic?
asking if you did the old one. I'm asking if you did any other prep. Like maybe you got some gil set aside or Grand Company seals, any of that stuff.
Yeah, my GC seals are maxed. My gil, I mean, I'm technically still looking third world at sitting at 2 million some change. So, no. You know, I would say half prep in the way that my GC seals are capped.
Yeah, but you didn't do that on purpose. That just happened.
That just happened with GC turn-ins.
There you go.
I mean, I did it.
Killing 2 birds.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, okay. Now I'm thinking I've seen all the nicknames. Everyone's calling it an enema weapon. And that's how it's going to feel by the time you're done with it.
Amiibo weapon. That's
Amiibo weapons. Can we get the Cloud Amiibo in here, please? We'll talk about that. What kind of steps do you think the new weapon's going to have? What are you anticipating? Because we're hearing it's going to be like 5 steps. And that we really wish we could skip the first step. Yoshi P himself said, I would not want to do the first step.
God, what is the first step going to be in that case?
Atmos. Again.
Please don't tell me that we have to get light.
Oh, we'll probably have to do that at some point.
No. I don't want to.
Slyh, did you even make it that far in your old
No.
one? Then why are you complaining about it?
Because, like, I saw Miz do it. I saw the struggles of Miz trying to get light and everybody trying to get light. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
What about the struggles of getting Atmas? You're less concerned about that. That was a pain back in the day.
Back in the day, it was a pain. Like, I actually took, like, when it was 2.4 and they increased it, I set aside a day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just try to get Atmas now since the drop rate's increased, and I did it in like 4.5 hours. That's not bad. Now, then again, we're talking about a new relic weapon and maybe a new kind of Atmas system, like maybe, and then who knows how long that's going to take. Days, weeks. It's not. You're not going to be. I don't think you'll be able to get it all in one sitting. I mean, if you go hardcore, you get that kind of RNG. More power to you. But I don't think it's going to be like 2.4 Atma. No.
Probably not. How much do you think it's going to cost in like gills? Do you think maybe we'll need diadem spoils for it? Oh no.
More than likely, I'd say yes.
What about materia? That was the huge problem for people back with the Novus
God.
thing. Alexandrite was another one.
Oh yeah, Alexandrite.
Anything? He's anticipating any of those systems just flat out like, fuck it, it's back.
Gil, I think Gil's going to be a step. There's going to be a step where you're going to need a shit ton of Gil. So go gather. Go gather. Hopefully you're making money on the market boards. Hopefully you're just this OP crafter and you've been making fucking pots and I've been buying them probably.
What are you kidding me? People have been donating you pots. Don't lie to me.
No, I've actually had to buy my own. Well, people, like random people have donated like millions of gil to me. It just happened one night. I didn't ask for it. They just came up. I was trying to tell
Mr. United Negro Dragoon Fund, I didn't ask for it.
I didn't. Like, I was trying to teleport back to the lavender beds, and they kept stopping me and giving me a million gil.
You don't make something called the United Negro Dragoon Fund and then say you didn't ask for this.
I didn't. I was just trying to get back to the lavender bed.
Is that where the headquarters is?
Yes.
For the fund?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You were going to check in on your spoils and someone stopped you in the street.
No, that's where I usually go back to close out my night in Final Fantasy. I just go back to the lavender bed. But when I was trying to go back, hey, I want to do a trade. Teleport. Hey, I want to do a trade. Teleport. Hey, I want to do a trade. That's how it happened.
Yeah, I'm sure. I believe you completely.
There's video proof.
Anyway, do you think there's going to be any original combat content as part of the weapon? As part of the weapon, like Chimera and Hydra were?
Possibly, but what? That means they would have to add a new instance, I guess. Which,
listen, let's be honest. Chimera and Hydra weren't exactly high demand fights.
Yeah, they weren't. But what possibly could they add? I couldn't give you the specifics on what the fight would be, or if it's in a.
Can we fight Anima?
No, I'm not even gonna go that far. That's wishful thinking at that point. And don't get me wrong, a lot of us want to fight Anima in 14. That would be an awesome fight.
The only fight I ever made a video about speculating what the fight would be like.
A primal for a relic. Yeah, that would be an awesome fight.
What if we have to go back and farm a Realm Reborn dungeons?
Now it's not as bad. See, before Heaven's Ward,
and it can't be unsynced. I had to cut you off and make sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for raining on my parade.
I had to make sure.
I mean, well, still, I don't think it would still be as bad because people are now more than ever. People are going back to old content, just to level other classes and stuff. So, like back when like 2.3, 2.4 was out, and I was making an attempt to do Relic, I couldn't get in any fucking queues just to do Relic. Couldn't get any queues. Nobody was doing the old content. Now it's a little bit different. I might have an easier time doing it. So I'll say it's still a little bit easier than back then, but still, you're asking to do old content. There are going to be good days and bad days with queues, and that's every day.
So, Sly, normally what I do when they're coming up with a new Relic step is I look at the game and I go, what are people not doing enough of? Because the Relic weapon usually directs people in the direction of a piece of content that is not currently as popular.
So what are people not doing enough of? What do you think people
Crystal
are doing?
Power.
Why did I get didn't feel like you were gonna go there. Oh my god!
Because you were reading the chat like I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
about doing Never Reap 100 times?
We did that already.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
No. That's the one case I would take Crystal Tower over any dungeon.
What about Chocobo Racing and Lords of Verminion?
Shit, I'd take that.
Okay. Oh, man. I just think this would be fucking funny as hell if we went back and did a Realm Reborn stuff. Do you even know what Anima is? Like, because the Anima weapon, I'm pretty sure, is named after an old resource back in 1.0. Do you know what that was back in 1.0, Anima?
No, I don't.
So, back in the day, it didn't cost gil to teleport. It cost Anima. And you started with 100 of it. And you would generate, I think, 6 Anima per day after they buffed it. Mm-hmm. And if you ran out of Anima, that's it. You couldn't teleport. So, it was basically like energy you needed to use to traverse the Aetherytes. And I think that what happened in the lore, and I'm very open to the chat telling me I'm wrong here, because I didn't do big research on this, but I'm pretty sure that now with the amount of ether that's available, like story-wise, that we don't need Anima anymore to transport. So, yeah, that's what it was. So I'm assuming you're going to harness some of that energy when it comes to...
So you think they're bringing it back?
I don't think they're bringing it back. I think they're bringing, like, they're explaining we're using it's not being used anymore, so we're using it for something. So I have a feeling collecting Anima is going to be actually a part of it at the very least. I just don't know. That to me sounds like lights.
Okay, if that's the case, what step do you think it would be?
First step.
Very first step.
The only reason I don't think that is because there's images that suggest otherwise that popped up on the Blue Garter forums, but I have a feeling it'll have something to do with it. Oh, it's funny. Why do we need gil to TP? Apparently, for the use of an Aetherite, there's actually guards there, and they're tasked with taking your gil when you get there.
Oh, I thought it was like the Hydaelyn fund, like a church fund or something. It's going to Hydaelyn or something. It's the church building.
What does Hydaelyn need with gil? No, it's the cities charging you for the use of their Aetherites. You just don't actually see the animation of the guard collecting the gil from you. That was explained by Kojifox, I think, quite some time ago.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like, why the fuck does the crystal need gil? Are we paying this shit for the church building fund? The church fund?
Church of Hydaelyn.
The Church of Hydaelyn. Every church got a building fund.
There you go.
Everyone. But one thing I wanted to get back to was comparing what we think these steps are for the Anima weapon back, not to 2.0.
No, Sly, stop. But I know where this is going.
Good old days.
I
good old days. I wasn't there.
Sly, if you bring up 1.0 relics, I'm leaving. If you bring up 1.0, I'm leaving. You can finish the show on your own. I'm not fucking doing this, so this conversation's not happening.
Okay, Anima's gonna have 5 steps.
Okay.
How many steps were in 1.0?
I don't want to go down there. I never finished it in 1.0, Sly, because I never finished it.
According, and I wasn't there. 14 steps. 14.
I get it.
Yeah. Good job, Dibs. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Apparently, the good old days weren't good. They were just old.
No, you think? They completely remade the game, Sly, you think? Do you think they were ever good? They were acceptable by 1.23, not good.
Acceptable. See, I don't even want to go over the steps because it just happened to have PTSD or something. But God, just looking at these steps, I'd quit the game. That's how bad it would be for me. I'd quit the game.
Sly, let me tell you wouldn't have played it in the first place. You wouldn't even have made it that far to quit. Yeah. 14 steps. Let's see, we had, for 2.0, we had Atma, Anima. Well, technically you had Relic, Zenith, Atma, Anima, Novus, Nexus, Zodiac, Zeta.
Yeah.
So, it's like a little bit more than half the steps, something like that. Yeah, it's 8 steps, so. I don't know if there's going to be 5 steps in the initial version. I wonder how many steps there's going to be overall. That's why I kind of think there might be some sort of unique content. Just 5 steps right off the get-go, that's a lot of steps to start with. Unless they started at, like, I-180 or something, and then you have to build it up to 210 or whatever. Are you still on that? Are you still on the 210 guess? Is that still your guess? Because that's still my guess.
Yes, that's still my guess.
Okay.
210, but slightly better than
Thornton.
Alexander. Yeah. No, not Thornton.
No, not slightly better. Only if you get the perfect stats and you can re-roll that.
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If you can re-roll the stats to be perfect, yeah, I'd imagine they'd be better than Gordian. If there's not already a Gordian piece that has perfect stats for you,
Right.
that's what I think. Okay, so how long are you looking at? Do you think that these first 5 steps are going to take to finish? Like we have no information, so this is obviously a shot in the dark. But I'm just curious as to your wishful thinking.
My wishful thinking is for the hardcores out there and the ones I'm talking about, like no sleep. I'm going to get this shit. Well, maybe like a nap here and there. Maybe a few days, 2-3 days. But realistically, for the regular people who actually aren't taking time off for this or casual, probably a week or so, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks tops.
I don't know if I agree with that.
What are you saying?
So what I'm thinking is the hardcore people, regardless of how many days they spend, will take 60 hours. That's my guess. Regardless of how they spend their time, based on decent enough RNG, I'm going to go ahead and guess 60 hours. I think your average person will take probably about 2 to 3 weeks if they're really unlucky, maybe a month, depending on what their version of casual is, like how many hours they actually get per day and how many hours they even care to spend. I'm going to go with 60 hours being the expected time, though, for the finished 3.15 weapon. And I get to do 3 of them. Well, I get to skip the first step on 2 of them, but then I have to do the entire one for the third one because I don't have any more Zetas to trade in. Great to know that it's going to cost me about fucking 180 hours of my time. That's so great. That's fucking...
Have fun with that.
Great. Great. Yeah. Okay, so for Anima, that's good. That's great, grand, wonderful. It's no yelling on the bus. If you know what movie that's from, you make me proud. Finally, the patch will, assuming Yoshi P didn't lie to us or didn't mislead us, will be on the 15th or the 22nd. And the only reason we know this is because Yoshi P himself said there will not be another live letter before 3.15, and the next live letter is on the 23rd. So, which of these 2 dates are you banking on?
I'm leaning more towards the 22nd.
Me too.
Nice little pre-Christmas present,
I would want it to be the 15th, not just because of my impatience to do it, but because I think that having that extra time, technically a lot of college students are done by the 15th. Their exams are done. And then people are starting to work on vacations and whatnot there. So I would like it to be the 15th. It also means that the weekend before the 22nd is available. But I agree
But
with
that means that, like, a telltale sign for this would probably be this weekend because that's usually when we get kind of, pre-patch notes, I guess you could say. Like, preliminary
but I don't
notes.
think we'll get pre-patch notes for 3.15. It's too small. Like, it's Anima and it's Slythefox. So, like, I don't see us getting preliminaries for it.
In the grand scheme of things, is it really that small?
But, I mean, the reason for preliminaries is usually regarding crafting recipes. So, unless we are getting new crafting recipes, which we might, there might be new things that need to be crafted for the Anima weapon. I don't see us getting preliminaries. Even then, I just think they would wait till Monday night to do it.
Okay. Yeah. So, no preliminary notes?
I don't think we'll get preliminary notes for 3.15. Okay. I've never seen them do that before. I'm also leaning towards the 22nd, though. I feel like it only makes sense. If it's really weird to me, the next live letter is on a Wednesday, the day after.
Yeah, that's a weird day for a live.
It also fucks us on one of the shows because we know we're gonna have a show about 3.15. We don't yet know what the other show is gonna be on, but they had to fucking do it on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, so we would have something to talk about that night. So thanks.
Oh man, so yeah, we're not gonna move a show.
No, we're not moving a show. We just need something else to talk about.
Yeah.
We figure it out every week. We'll figure it out that week. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So we're going to move away from this whole Anima thing. We're going to move away from that.
And talk about something else controversial.
Yes, very controversial, even in the Final Fantasy XIV community.
Mm-hmm.
So Final Fantasy VII Remake is causing quite a stir. Obviously, this is a 14 podcast, but I have to bring up Final Fantasy VII Remake with you, especially, because I don't know the next time I'll get to talk to you. And besides, I'll make it 14 related. I'll ask you if we're going to do a collaboration event at some point. I don't know. Because that's what everyone thinks whenever there's a new Final Fantasy coming out. Like, everyone's like, oh, what's the collaboration event going to be? If there is one, I mean, we could talk about that.
Or you could just be always like happy and please throw in Battle Sword.
Can you use your words, Sly? Use your words.
No, I don't want him to throw it in.
Use your words. You already started saying it. Did you say we're about to say Hotline Bling? What was it about to be? Was it one of those things from pre-show?
Hello.
Not that. Was that what it was?
It's me. No.
What is it?
Them bringing in, we always talk about what they're going to bring in terms of like stuff for the gold saucer. And one thing you've always said was
Battle Arena.
Yeah, Battle Arena.
Give me my Battle Arena.
In the gold saucer.
Yeah.
Gold saucer.
Fuck else would you put it?
Somewhere else?
No, fuck that. The beginner's hall is its own thing. It's good. We need the Battle Arena to be in the gold saucer. It's not the Battle Arena if it's not in the gold saucer. Fine. Okay, so
snowboarding.
Yes, we'll talk about that. So first of all, Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to have more action-based combat. I'm just going to ask you yay or nay on a bunch of things to get this over with at the end of the show. Yay or nay on action-based combat for Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Yay. According to what I saw from the new trailer, yay.
Yay? Okay. All right. Anything to add?
Kind of like what we got in 15. I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong though, because I would love for it to be turn-based, but in a way still kind of action.
Well, there was another interview that came out where where one of the two, I don't remember if it was Nomura or Katase, where they said that there's no button mashing in the game, that you have to make your decisions strategically. Whereas 15, they say that it can feel button mashy. So they seem to make that very distinct difference between the two. It also had a dedicated defend command, which is really strange in an action game.
But all we have to go on is the look of the trailer. We don't have this.
No, that's the whole game. That's completely accurate. Will never change. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely will never change. All right, second, and this one's a pretty big one. It was revealed that the game's going to be released as a multi-part series, with further elaboration implying that the base game is going to be updated with some more content. There's going to be deeper diving into the story, and that it's too big to release all at once. So they need to break it down into a multi-part series. Does this mean that... I mean, it means something very obviously. Yay or nay? Episodic, yay or nay?
Okay, okay. I want to say nay, because we in the community
know what the fucking story is.
We know what the story is. We know how huge this game is, and for them to do it episodically, like,
there's no way
add all the episodes up in terms of memory and see how much memory you're going to have. You're going to probably have to delete a lot of shit, either that or get a new hard drive if you're on PS4. If you're going to have to delete a lot of shit.
Final Fantasy 13 was 60 gigabytes, if I remember correctly, before being compressed, I think. I don't know if they ever got compressed at any point.
So, yeah, people on PS4, go ahead and get the new, if you don't have like a terabyte system or a new hard drive, you might want to think about getting that ahead of time.
But so do you think that taking the episodic approach was the right idea? Because they say that every individual game will have enough content to facilitate a full game release.
But we know what the full game is!
That's my problem. That's why I'm asking you. It's hard to convince someone who has played the game 20 years ago
they're primarily talking to the people who have not played this game.
No, they're talking to everyone, because the only people that are even worried about it are the people who have played the fucking game before. Like, there's no way you're going to end on Aerith dying, spoilers, and not be
spoilers,
like...
don't level Aerith.
Yeah, don't level Aerith. Well, unless you need the achievements. There's no way they're going to end on that and me go, wow, that was a full game experience. I'm going to be like, where's disc 2, motherfucker? Which is one thing that people have suggested, is that each disc would be broken up into an episode. But disc 3 was basically, hi, Northern Crater, I'm here. And, hey, any optional side shit? Okay, do I not want to do that? Okay, I'll see you in 5 minutes, Sephiroth. I don't know. I want to see it be done well. And actually, one thing people have made me aware of is the company that's helping them develop the game, CyberConnect. They worked on the .hack series. And the .hack...
That's why the battle system looks so fucking familiar, because it's action-oriented.
But not only that, but the .hack series did this whole episodic thing where you beat the first game and your progress from the first game went over
to the next game.
It transferred over to the next game.
Yeah.
So they have an expert in actually successfully doing that. And there are a lot of people who love the .hack series of games.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved .hack. .hack was amazing when it came out.
Yeah.
But Western-wise, I don't think it took off like it did.
No, well, I mean, a lot of those Japanese type games that didn't have a big establishment here as well.
But that was mainly because I was into the anime already.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, I think at least as they have a company that has already developed a game exactly like Square Enix has described, because they're making it seem like you'll beat the first episode and everything. And it had an overworld, .hack had an overworld. People are afraid that was going to get scaled back in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then, of course, people are pointing out in the chat there was a lot of content that was cut from the third disc that maybe they could add in the remake. They might still have all the storyboarding. And
you and I were talking
Yes, we were.
But before pre-show, actually. And you were saying that a certain character from Crisis Core...
Or characters.
Might, quote unquote, make an appearance. I said DLC.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that. I said, you threw that possibility at me. I said DLC.
Well, all I said was, I think that if they're going to be diving deeper into the story, they might as well fix the fuck-ups that was the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, which was that they released the game and they said, okay, we want to expand on this universe. But everything they did to expand on the universe fucked with the story of the original game. So instead of doing that again, all they got to do is include Genesis and Angeal in flashback cutscenes, make sure that there's adequate background regarding things like deep ground existing. Just don't leave the holes in and then say, oh, no, fucking Cloud didn't remember it correctly. That's all I think. I just think we're actually going to see Genesis and Angeal be put into the game just for the sake of not needing to retcon him in later. You know what I mean? And then eventually Dirge of Cerberus DLC. I did not like that game. I like the song. I like the song by Gact that was in that. That's the only fucking like Japanese artist I knew for the longest time was because of Dirge of Cerberus. So, I don't know. I want to see Final Fantasy VII Remake do really well. Because if this does well, they've already said we want to remake 8. We want to remake 6. They want to do this treatment to the other games. And I would fucking love a Final Fantasy VI Remake. As much as I didn't care for a 7 Remake, I would love a fucking Final Fantasy VI Remake. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. I just want to see them adequately pull off a full game's worth of content. Don't know why I did quotes like 6 times. And breaking it down into 3 games and having it make sense. I also don't want to pay $180 to play Final Fantasy VII. That's how I feel about it at the end.
Yeah, who does? But
yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
No.
Thing is, I'm a broadcaster, Sly. I would have no choice.
You would have no choice.
If my career was not what it is, I would probably say no. But I know how much money I've spent on Final Fantasy games in the past, and this would honestly be a drop in the fucking bucket. So,
in comparison to how much we paid for 14, really?
Yeah, and how much I paid for 11 over all those years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So another thing we kind of mentioned in passing a few minutes ago. Can we get reimaginings of the minigames? Some of
Hell
them?
yeah, give me the fucking snow. That whole gold saucer in Final Fantasy VII Remake better be fully functional. I want I want the Mog story. I want snowboarding. I want the battle arena. I want every fucking thing imaginable in it. And then I want it brought over to Final Fantasy XIV, just to make the topic correct.
You can have the battle arena.
Yeah, I want it in 14. Exactly.
Yeah,
if it's
fine.
already developed,
you can have it.
If they've already got it
have
developed for the PS4,
You
just
can
lower
have
the
it.
graphics, bring it over to 14. We're good to go.
No,
I want the
no.
submarine. I want Fort Condor. I want all of that.
Mainly, you want the submarine so you can.
And we already know the cross-dressing scene is staying in the remake. We have confirmed the
course.
they confirmed it's staying, the cross-dressing
Of
scene.
course.
And push-ups and all that good stuff. I want all of that in there. And I want to see what the hell they add to it at that. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake, slow it down. Seems to be moving on at a pretty decent pace, fingers crossed. Because we said the same thing about Versus 13 back in 2006. People are already beginning to think of a collaboration event for Final Fantasy XIV. You're not. I can tell by the look on your face. Yay or nay?
It's going to happen eventually.
That's not answering my question.
And are you asking me if I actually want
Do
it?
you want it? Do you not want it? Do you think it'll happen? Yay or nay?
Do I want it? Yay and nay.
What the hell does that mean?
I've seen what some of the collaboration events do. The 13 event or the 13-2 event? Nah.
It was just a 13. It was for lightning. It was for lightning returns, but it just had lightning, and it was just regular 13.
But that was so underwhelming.
That's true.
It was like the collab events. There hasn't.
I mean,
been
the 11 event was really, really well done. Maybe if they do something
that
along
was
that.
well done, but I just
Well, the second one.
If they're gonna do it, at least do it right. Like that's my whole thing. I don't want it to be an underwhelming experience because this you're talking about a franchise. Okay, compare 13 and 7.
I'd rather
Worlds
not.
apart.
Yeah.
Worlds apart.
I'd rather
And
not.
if you're going to do a collabo event with 7, don't make it as underwhelming as the 13 event was. That's my whole issue. Will I actually like the event? Depends on, how it's made.
Did
how
you like the 11 event? Did you do the 11 event?
The last one.
Well, yeah, obviously not the Shantoto one.
No, not the Shantoto one. I mean, I like my Shantoto minion. Yay. But,
There we go.
yeah.
What kind of items would you want to see from a Final Fantasy VII Remake collaboration? I mean, I thought of a few here if you're having trouble. Like weapons
I saw
resembling the ultimate weapons,
I saw
a bike mount, Cloud's hairstyle.
That's never going to happen.
I-
Let me just go ahead and
They
get that.
suggested a car mount from 15 for that one. They suggested that. It was a joke, but still.
Yeah.
But, I liked what the chat recommended, the squat emote from Final Fantasy VII, where they do the squats and the thing where it's like...
Yeah, that's actually acceptable. I'll take that. I'll
There
take the hairstyle. I mean, we already had the Advent Children outfit.
You're watching me do it right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling. There we go. Sly, use your words.
I can't. There are no words for that.
Sly, do your squats. Come on. You already owe your stream a twirl after we're done. Now you're going to owe them squats, too.
I had no space to do a twirl. You see all this space?
Stand on your couch.
No.
Just take your shoes
I'm
off.
not Tom Cruise. No.
You can be.
God,
What would you want?
A wind-up emerald weapon.
A wind-up emerald weapon?
Yes.
What the fuck? You're going straight for emerald weapon? Imagine if we saw emerald weapon in a fucking collaboration event with 14.
Only. But see, the collaborations events are just meant to be, these easy events.
Exactly.
Imagine emerald weapon
That
showing
would be
up.
so fucking legit. What if they gave us a low polygon version of Cloud? like exactly the way he looked in the
like
open
the
world.
short little stubby
With the fucking hoof hands and shit. Yo, that would be fucking awesome. I would take that. Wind up Polygon Cloud. I'll take it. Or just wind up Cloud and he looks exactly like he did in the original Final Fantasy VII. I don't even give a shit about Final Fantasy VII on that degree, but that would be fucking awesome.
Wind up Barrett. Wind up Aerith. Of course.
No, it's gotta be wind up Tifa, dude.
Of course, a wind up Tifa. Wind up Sephiroth. And the wind up.
If you're gonna have polygons, you need Tifa.
And the wind up Sephiroth and the wind up Cloud will fight. Of course, they have to.
And if you do huzzah to your wind up Cloud, he does squats. Or he could do his win animation with the sword. That's the other thing he could do.
The sword twirl, yeah.
Square Enix, we are feeding you money right now. Your cash shop is going to have these items in it by like March of 2016.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I would like a 5% royalty on that, on your own creative content, but it was my idea, so you owe me. Anyway, not him. I'll give him 1% of my 5%. You can have 1% off 4%.
But yeah, like, going back to the whole Emerald idea. That would be a sick fight, though. That would be a really sick fucking fight. Only if they actually, made it worthy, made it truly difficult for us. Like, no collaboration event battles are that bad. None of them are that bad.
I would like a Ruby Weapon one more because we already have the giant fucking desert for him to chill out in by the gold saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would just be like poking out of the ground and then he would come all the way out when you actually aggroed him or something. That would be pretty cool. I'm down. I'm down with the sickness. There we go. All right. Since we did light predictions for patch 3.15, when do you think Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 1 is going to launch?
Second quarter 2017.
That's actually right on the money of where I was going to guess it. I think 2017. Well, actually, when is the actual 20-year anniversary of Final Fantasy VII? It's in 2017. I don't know the exact day, though.
You bring up a good point. That would actually be a Square Enix thing to do.
It would be.
Yeah, I don't know a specific date.
Just like I expect them to announce the 15 release date on March 15th, 2015. Just because of why the fuck not, right?
Right.
I mean, it's going to happen. I think maybe Episode 1 on the 20-year anniversary. I think right on the 20-year anniversary. Japanese anniversary, whenever that might be. So, that's my guess. And then I want a collaboration event on the same day for Final Fantasy XIV. You got to keep it Final Fantasy XIV.
Day after.
January 31st, 1997 was the launch date. Okay, so you were pretty close. First quarter. That's first quarter.
Yeah,
and then by the end of 2017, I want all 3 episodes. But it won't happen, but I'm just going to be a dick and say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully, Sly, all we can do is hope and pray. There we go. Don't know why I did it like that.
I don't know either.
Anyway, Sly, any closing comments, any closing thoughts you have regarding all this, regarding the gathering and crafting and the Final Fantasy VII and the Anima?
All I can hope, even if it's episodic, is that all I can hope for the 7 remake is that it lives up to all the hype we've been building over this. Like, all the initial hype from E3 to what we had this past weekend, like, to release. I hope it lives up to our expectations.
I hope so, too. A lot of people are asking about the Dissidia, because that has a 1-year exclusive arcade appearance, Dissidia, before it comes over here. Or before it has a chance to come out on PS4. But I'm hoping for that, too. I'm hoping for early 2017 to get Dissidia on the PS4 as well.
Damn, 2017 is going to be a bitch.
No, getting to 2017 is going to be a bitch. Like, surviving until 2017 is going to be a bitch.
I'll survive.
Okay. Had to do it. Had to be done. All right, Sly, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at? Again, well, everyone first, thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pretty good show.
Thank you.
I think it was an all right show. I might watch next week's episode based on tonight's episode, like 50-50, something like that. Maybe. All right, Sly, why don't you tell them where they can find you at?
You can find the Happy Fox at twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyh, aka Greyfox07. You can find me at Plot 14 Ward 5 of the Lavender Beds on Behemoth server. Best Behemoth. The Cool Kids Table. Home to the Foxhole. We're turning it into a strip club.
Oh, you're officially turning it into a strip club?
Yeah, we still have to work on that. It's gonna happen.
I want to make this. I want to make this the thumbnail right now. This is what I want to make the thumbnail to the video right now. It's just that precious little face. Wait, hold on. I need to. There we go. Now it's correct. Now it's correct. I had it handy. I was like, if he says anything about that fox, I am absolutely.
That fox has some, like.
That fox is high as hell right now.
No, he's high. He's got some extreme eye boogers going on, man.
Yo, man. They don't get to clean their eyes like we do. You're one cute little bugger right there, Sly. I mean, Happy the Fox. Sly, aka Happy Fox. Got it! Okay. I'm sorry I didn't find an actual gray fox for you. I didn't even think of that until just now. Anyway, I am your other host, Michael, Mr. Happy Poverello. You can find me everywhere, Mr. Happy1227, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. And if you're watching my live stream here, you already, you know.
You're already here.
You're here. Yeah.
You know what the business is.
The bidness. Well, I don't want to give them the bidness. Like that would be pretty lewd to do.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, right there. All right, everyone, we're gonna move over into post-show. So thank you for joining us live, and if you're watching us on YouTube, we will see you next week. But otherwise, we'll see you. Well, he'll see you in a few minutes, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Man, that's real south of you, right there. That's like farther south than you even are.